one of the first books that turned me on to the whole science of what hypnosis or hypnotherapy or meditation was this book right here. Where is it? The Metu Neter, if I'm saying that right. Volume 1 by Metu Neter. Now this book, I got this book, I want to say this is the same book I've had since the 90s. But this is the first book, and this book is not about hypnosis, but in these series of books, and there's actually series, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7 now, that he always mentions the science of hypnosis when he talks about meditation, rituals, and certain forms of mental visualizations that you go through. So a long time ago when I read the book, I didn't know anything about hypnosis, but in the book he talks about the right and the left hemispheres of the brain and the different aspects of what the right hemisphere does versus what the left hemisphere of the brain does. He talks about Osar, which is the indwelling intelligence within us all in the book. And Osar is just another word for Osiris because you have Osar, Aset, and Haru, which is Osiris, Isis, and Horus. So, but he doesn't talk about them in a form of like deities, like some people who study Kemet talk about them. He talks about the indwelling intelligence within us all as Osar. So one of the first visualizations or meditations that he does in the book that relates to hypnosis is visualizing yourself, because a lot of what hypnosis is visual imagery. So you visualize yourself with the white crown of Osar on your head, because you're identifying yourself. You're not hypnotizing yourself to be or see yourself as Osar. You are already knowing that the indwelling intelligence, which represents Osar, is within you. So this is one of the first books that turned me on to the whole science. And just reading this book now, years later, gives me an even more in-depth view of what hypnotherapy can be used for, because there's Western hypnotherapy, and then there's ancient hypnotherapy or ancient hypnosis, Western hypnosis and ancient hypnosis. And of course, they're two totally different things, because even with psychology, to me, the whole purpose of psychology in the Western hemisphere was how to modify, or what they call behavior modifications. They try to modify and get people to act the way they want them to act based upon their own programming and what their ideals and what they thought how other people should act. But the other form, or what we call Eastern medicine, like Chinese medicine or sciences from Kemet or anything from the West, is different from things from the East, because the East, which is the Asiatic countries, Africa, Asia, the Mediterranean, all those different places, they had a whole different outlook of how meditation, of even your chakras and everything was. In the West, they always have a way of diluting, mixing, tampering with the teachings and making it into something other than what it was supposed to be used for. But as I broke it down before with the history of hypnosis, it all goes back to Kemet, it all goes back to Imhotep. But one of the first books, like I said, I read on the subject was Metu Neter. And every volume of his books, he talks about hypnosis. You can look up in a glossary in the back, and you can see where he talks about certain parts of hypnosis. And let me see if I can find you the white crown of Osar. But you basically picture yourself, and the light might be too big, but you picture yourself wearing a crown on your head, because you are the deity, the indwelling intelligence, or the divine rests in you. So it's not like something that's outside of you that he taught. That's why meditation is done, and for you to focus on your inside, to focus inwardly, to focus on not necessarily things that are outside of you, but focus inside of you. Focus on the subjective. Another thing he talks about in the book is the subjective and the objective realm, and how the subjective realm is the realm of thoughts and ideas and subjects. memories. That's the subjective realm. You can't touch the subjective realm. But the objective realm is the realm of solids, liquids, gas, things of that nature, matter and energy. So, good book if you ever want to read some things about hypnosis and some of the techniques that he talks about in the book. It's written from a chemic perspective. A person who's studying chemic, I'm sure, has always come across the Metu Neter book, but it was one of the first books I read in regards to hypnosis many years ago, before I even knew what hypnosis was. And gives you a very good outlet on using the skills of imagination and visualization, and how that can help you in your everyday life. Peace.